How do you measure the effectiveness of your projectiles?
Basically, the industry has been using static measurements like sectional density, bullet weight, for so long, I've actually lost focus as to why they use it at all, right? And in the early days, the mathematical formulas of the contribution of weight, of length and twist, the atmospherics and all the rest of it were not well understood, and they certainly weren't able to be mathematically or functionally described. They knew it had an influence, but couldn't really describe it. If you can't describe something, how do you sell it? Weight is something that I can give you a bullet and say, this is a 200 grainer, and you can wander away, put it on your scales and say, yeah, it's a 200 grainer. But what have you achieved? It hasn't told you what that particular bullet's going to do or how it's going to behave. So the dynamic stuff is really hard to measure because it's happening dynamically, and it happens in a very, very short period of time. The dynamic measurements that we've been using tend to be in scientifically quantifiable ballistic gelatin, things like that, and they put it on slow-mo. And this is all an improvement over 50 years ago, but it still doesn't. But that model, which was developed by Fackler and McPherson, was designed for military and law enforcement application on enemy combatants or criminals. This does not describe how a game animal is going to respond. They are structured differently, they have a completely different density, and they don't watch the television, they don't read books, they don't know how they're supposed to react when they get hit. So they don't have this psychology which says, I've been shot, I'm going to fall over. They go, what the hell was that, I'm out of here. Because that's the fight-flight response. Dynamic can be measured, but generally speaking, it gets measured afterwards because it happens so quick. So you can tell what happened when you either do an autopsy or recover a bullet or what have you. But you can't do that beforehand unless you've got a significant database to refer back to. And when you have highly frangible projectiles, that's extremely variable. When you have a consistent weight maintenance and form function impact, you can look back at it and say, well, 99 out of 100 did this. I can reasonably expect the next 99 out of 100 to behave that way. But it's much more variable when you're using, say, a jacketed lead product.